looking at Time of Your Life by Green Day, or Good Riddance, or Time of Your Life, Good Riddance. Not sure which one it is, but whatever. That song, a very commonly requested song, and one that I know a lot of folks try to pick up because it's always suggested as a beginner song. Chord-wise, that's probably true, but and strum pattern-wise too, it's a good one to look at. But with the individual arpeggiating of chords, playing single strings very quickly, it's a good thing to do. But I don't know if that's necessarily beginner. For the tempo that it's going. So something to ease into if it is something that you're tackling, and don't get frustrated. And I'll help you out with that as much as I can. Try to give you some tips. Picking direction is a big part of that. So we're playing 4 chords throughout. Now we'll look at the chords the way that we're going to play them for the arpeggios. And then we're also going to play them a little bit differently, 3 of them at least. Well, actually, no, all 4 of them for the strumming. So this happens all the time on guitar, and I'll give you reasons why for that as well. So for our G chord in the arpeggio section, I'm just going to use fingers 2 and 3 here. I'm on string 6 fret 3. String 5 is muted with my middle finger there, just lightly touching it. String 4 open, string 3 open, and string 2 fret 3 with my ring finger. That's it. Okay. C add 9, I'm going to leave my 3rd finger in place right there. I'm going to bring my middle finger down to string 5 fret 3, and then I'm going to put my index on string 4 fret 2. So string 5 fret 3, string 4 fret 2, open string 3, and string 2 fret 3. There. So just those 4 strings. And then for the D chord in the arpeggio section, we're just going to play a D5 chord, which is open string 4, string 3 fret 2 with my index, string 2 fret 3 with the ring. Just those 3 strings. And then for our E minor chord, I'm only going to have finger 1 on here, string 4 fret 2, so string 6 open, string 4 fret 2, string 3 open, and string 2 open. Okay? The reason for that is so the left hand has to do less as it's moving through the transitions as you're arpeggiating and picking individual strings with your pick. If you always go to the full chord shape, it's going to present a lot of problems for transitions. You're going to have clipped notes that you end up accidentally muting. Your hand's going to get more tense because of the extra effort that you're putting forth. So you visualize the thing that you're most familiar with, right? When you see a G chord, you probably primarily see it one way, but there's many ways to play it. And you don't want to feel confined or restricted to only doing that. And I see that as a problem that a lot of people run into. Just forcing themselves to kind of stay in one lane. It's good to have variety with, you can do a lot with open position chords, and it helps with visualization later on. But if you only do things one way, then it's limiting and kind of stunts growth as far as moving forward and making progress. So keep that in mind and try it out. Might feel weird initially. You feel like you're learning a new chord or something. I don't know. But if you think about it as you're working on it, I think it'll start to click pretty quickly, and it will make things easier, I promise. Okay, so then when we go to strumming, our G chord is going to be like this. So all I really did was add my pinky. I don't have my index finger down there. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Not really too worried about that. Let's just say we'll leave it off. So string 6 fret 3, string 5 muted, string 4 open, string 3 open, string 2 fret 3, string 1 fret 3. To our C add 9, we're going to transition the same way. Finger 2 is going to come down to string 5 fret 3, finger 1 on string 4 fret 2, and I'm leaving the pinky in place, so now it's 5 strings. it's just going to be a normal D major chord, no D5. So we've got all three fingers on there. Open 4, string 3, fret 2, string 2, fret 3, string 1, fret 2. And then for our E minor chord, regular old E minor, open 6, string 5, fret 2, string 4, fret 2, string 3 open, string 2 open, string 1 open. And if you like to use fingers 1 and 2 there, that's totally fine. 2, 3, 1, 2, anything that's comfortable works there. Okay, so let's start with the strum pattern first, because that's what you'll do through the majority of the song, and it's also the easier part. And it'll also get that rhythm, the rhythm of the strumming and the rhythm of the arpeggio are the same, so we'll get that rhythm in our ear for the arpeggios as well. So our strum pattern is going to be down, down, up, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up. And you can see I'm constantly moving my hand across the strings here, but just choosing when to strike the strings. Down, down, up, down, up, right? So you're going to be using that through the verse, the pre-chorus, and the chorus. So the verse is G. With that pattern twice. C add 9. And D. And then of course you can repeat that. I believe it's 4 times for each verse. Remember, relax the grip on the pick. You don't want to be squeezing it too tight, and move very small. Right? Direct your pick to the strings that you want to strum, so that the left and the right hands are working together there. Right? And this is a side note for just guitar in general, but I see a lot of beginners wanting to focus on looking at their right hand even when they're strumming. Just listen for that pattern, even if you're catching some stray strings. And I find that they always do better looking at the left hand, and it's counterintuitive to them, but then they look at their left hand and they're able to get everything flowing a lot quicker. And I think the majority of that is related to the fact that they're constantly going back and forth with their neck and eyes, to the right hand, to the left hand, to the right hand, to the left hand. And it's just impossible to manage that way, right? Another thing I say is you can kind of don't hover over your guitar, kind of stay back so you can get a little bit more of a panoramic view, so to speak, and you can kind of see both hands so you can do a quick glance if needed. All right, so that's the verse. Same pattern for the pre-chorus, but it's going to be E minor, D, C was in there, and we could just leave that as a C add 9. That doesn't really matter. So C major or C add 9, just looking at the little sheet music here. Both will work. And I would say just leave it as a C add 9. So the transitions stay the same, and you can focus on the rhythm and then the arpeggios that we're about to get into. So that pre-chorus played twice. E minor to D, C add 9, and G, E minor, C add 9, G, and then the chorus, same strum pattern, E minor, G, and arpeggios. So for our G chord, if you need to go back and review the fingering, if you can't see it, go back to the beginning of the video. But it's going to be string 6, string 4, string 2, string 3, string 4, string 3. 6, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3, 6, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3. Okay, my picking directions there, very important. I'm not saying this is the only way, but it is what I recommend. I'm going to go down on string 6, down on string 4, up on string 2, up on string 3, down on string 4, up on string 3. That allows the hand to relax, and it also kind of propels us into the direction that we're already needing to go to find the next string, right? So an example of that is when I'm repeating the chord or going to the next chord transition, I'm finishing with an up pick, and that's moving me back to that bass note, to whatever chord I'm going to. So, a little tidbit to think about when you're trying to figure out a picking pattern. And no, it's definitely not all down. I have that argument with my students all the time where they want to do down, down, down. Just got to work it into your system one way or another. Whether it's through a song or an exercise, it's a bunch of different variability in the patterns and the rhythm that can be played. So, you know, every opportunity you get, just make sure that you're tackling it with that in mind, that you want to have a set plan for your pick directions. Okay. So again, 6, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3. You repeat that on the G chord. Down, down, up, down, up. Then go to a C add 9 chord, and it's going to be same pattern. The only thing that changes here is string 6 is now string 5. So 5, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3. And then to a D5 chord, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3. So all of that together. Always start slow with this stuff. Really thinking about how you're controlling things. How much tension are you holding in anywhere? In your fingers, in your shoulders, in your neck. That stuff spreads and it just disrupts our flow. And once you feel like you've got everything memorized, it's starting to come to you a little easier. Start speeding it up. And I recommend doing that with a metronome if you are comfortable using one. Alright, then we get to the pre-chorus. E minor. Remember, I'm only using one finger here, finger 1. And I'm going to go same pattern as a G chord. 6, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3. D5 chord. 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3. C add 9. 5, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3. And G 6, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3. Again, E minor. D5, C at 9, and G. So, and then for the chorus, during the arpeggios, it's going to be all the same string combinations for each of these chords. It's going to be E minor and G. E minor, G. E minor, D5. And I believe in the recording it goes intro and then with arpeggios, verse with arpeggios, pre-chorus with arpeggios, chorus with arpeggios, and then jumps into the strumming. And then that all comes back at the end, the arpeggios. That is, not sure if it goes through everything. I think it might just be the chorus. One thing I wanted to point out there with the chorus, but you can look for this in any two chord transition, especially when you are arpeggiating. So we have this E minor chord, and the first note I have to play on the G chord is string 6 fret 3. So I want to make sure that that's the first note I grab. I don't have to land everything at once. It's okay if that happens naturally, but if it's getting in the way and you're having trouble, just focus on getting that first note down and then letting the other fingers follow. It helps to let the left hand relax, and puts the left hand and the right hand more in sync with one another based on what you're needing to play. Because you get any tension in that left hand, the right hand's probably going to start to get tense too, and then mentally we get a little confused and things start to kind of fall apart. So, and then coming back from the G major to the E minor, I don't have to rush to get this first finger down because the first note I'm playing is string 6 open. So whenever I have an open string as the first note, that always gives me a little bit more time to get to that next note, okay? I'll do once through like verse arpeggios, pre-chorus arpeggios, and chorus arpeggios. I'll just do them once, calling out the changes or pick direction or strings, and then we'll be done. Here we go. So starting with the verse here. G, C add 9, D5, and the pre-chorus down, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, chorus on the E minor, 6, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3, G, 6, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3, back to E minor, G, back to E minor again, and D5. That's it, guys. Take your time with the arpeggios. Like I said, if you're already familiar with the chords, that's great. That's going to help a lot. Then you can focus on the right hand. Don't try and go full speed if you haven't done it before. Right out of the gate, you have to take your time and deal with learning good positive muscle memory, releasing as much tension as possible while playing, visualizing where your pick is going and how you're going to move your fingers. That's a lot. About as close to multitasking as we get, but a lot of these systems just kind of go on autopilot eventually, and that's why initially it's more difficult because you're still having to think about your chord transition and you're still having to think about how your right hand is going to pick and getting it to feel normal. So think about that. You can make exercises out of songs or parts of songs to get familiar with something. Don't expect yourself to just be able to do it because you see a lot of other people do it and then get frustrated with yourself. It will come, I promise. All right, have fun. See you in the next video. Thanks.